Hey, what is up, launch team? Hey, I know this is kind of a new thing that we're gonna try out here and just kind of see how it goes. First of all, I just want to let you all know I'm sorry we weren't able to kind of get a meeting together, but I definitely want to run some details by you before all of the crazy big large events that we have going on come up, and going to need a lot of your help with just stuff and what we do. And so I'll kind of mention that and talk a little bit. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. I don't want to keep you stuck at your computer like all night watching some crazy long video of me just jammering on and on and on. So I'll kind of just cut to the chase with just some of the things that we're looking at doing, some of the things that I'm excited about us doing, and then just also want to kind of just keep you in the know, as well as allow you to have any feedback you want to give. So it's going to be a little bit different because usually we're kind of sitting around table and it's just easy for us to discuss back and forth. And obviously you can't jump through my computer and give me feedback, but feel free to email back and just let me know. So why don't we go ahead and get this started so this file doesn't get super big. So anyways, want to talk to you. The summer's been a little bit crazy. We've had a lot going on, which is totally fine because that's summer. So I know everybody loads their stuff up with family vacations and camps and being gone and then coming back and being gone and coming back. And so we're kind of hitting the tail end of summer here. So really want to run into fall strong. Want to just make sure that we have high energy, our commitment is high, our purpose is super high, and that we just kind of keep going after this. So I know sometimes it's easy to want to kind of put our feet up after summer and just say, okay, now the time is to relax because everything else is kind of becoming more constructed as far as what we're doing between going back to school or just having kind of a routine that we get into. And so I want to make sure that the routine is the same thing for youth as well, so that we're kind of doing our thing. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's kind of I want to share with you quick just about Planning Center. Obviously I think everybody's kind of getting familiar with Planning Center, which is really good. Planning Center is going to kind of be our anchor as far as like just the plan before the game plan that we actually kind of execute. So what we're going to do is we've been starting to schedule people for Planning Center now. When you get scheduled for Planning Center, you'll get scheduled for a specific task, and then for a specific night, doing a specific thing. And then what'll happen is I'll send an email out to you to confirm that time with me. It's going to be super important and necessary that you confirm those times, because if for whatever reason you don't make it to something, that means that we're left with a hole or a gap somewhere where we're going to have to fill that on the spot, and that makes it more difficult because the communication's kind of low and on the low end. So want to make sure that we communicate, and we do that, because if we communicate well, we're going to succeed well, and that's super important. And I know that's kind of all of our hearts is to make that happen. So my plan is that I'm going to always send out 2 weeks in advance. So 2 weeks in advance, and then you will receive those emails on that Monday. So Monday morning you'll receive an email. Or afternoon, so just check in the morning or in the afternoon and you'll find that email, and then make sure that you just confirm right away. Don't wait, because if you wait and you're like, oh, I'll confirm later, or whatever, it takes 2 seconds, and it just kind of puts everybody's hearts at ease. So that's one thing. Also, with Planning Center, we're going to do something that is a little bit more stable and concrete. So many of you are going to be doing the same thing based on what weeks they are. So I've set up like templates, so like little things where each week is kind of something new that you're doing, but for those specific weeks, it's the same thing. So week 1, you may be on announcements. Week 2, you may be on for handing out all of our event stuff and what we've got. Week 3, you might be on for doing slides, running the computer, but your week 1 will always be announcements. Your week 2 will always be handing out the event forms. Your week 3 will always be the slides, so that you kind of have some familiarity of knowing, like, okay, even if I didn't maybe get to the email, I should know that this is what I'm on for, and for that specific week. So that's kind of it about Planning Center. We really want to get back into doing pre-service meetings at 6:32, so just make sure that y'all are ready for that, because we've kind of let go of that because of summer and just, kind of just running and flying on the seat of our pants. So I know it's a weird thing to say, but want to make sure that we're just doing that and doing it well. So that's super important. Let me get to just a couple of the events that we got going on. So August 30th, we have the Rock Night. with Ben Cassica. So that's going to be super fun. If you are involved in something that's a part of service, I'm going to ask you to keep your time as minimal as possible. If you keep the time as minimal as possible, that allows us as much time as possible for Ben, and obviously he's only going to be here 1 week with us. Hopefully more if, if he's willing and wanting to, and maybe he'll join worship team. Who knows? But that would be crazy. But we're going to allow as much time with him as possible. Also, we're going to do pizza with Ben afterwards, so we're going to just have a bunch of pizzas made. I just want you to be on your game and just ready to serve and be available for anything that may be going on. There's also potential for a lot of new guests, so just be ready. I'm going to ask all of you if you can be there at 6 p.m. at the latest, 6 p.m. So make sure that you're there because new guests may trickle in, and we want to make sure that we're just doing our thing and that we look like we're prepared and ready to go. Because not that this night matters more than other nights, but we just want to make a good impression, and that's important. So let me run through with the order of service for you for August 30th. So there's pre-service prayer at 5:45, and that's Noah and Sherry are going to be leading that. We want you to be there for that. And then welcome and announcements will be Haley and Zach. I'll take care of the offering, and then worship will happen, and then we'll begin the interview with Ben. Ethan, I have you on check-in, and Lily, I have you on check-in as well. So make sure that you're just by the legacy box, ready to greet people as they come in, helping show them around, and taking care of them, which will be really important. Jayla, I have you on the computer. Super important that kind of the different things at different times as far as sound and as far as videos, if we have any. So make sure that you find me so that I can get you kind of in the loop on that so that you don't feel left just clueless. And then Lilia, you're on drums. Zekrikevich is playing, and so is Chris and Haley and my sister. Haley Kukta, you're singing on that night, and then Nolan, you're playing the bass. So that's kind of where everybody's spots are, and just make sure that you're just ready to go. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be rocking. That's why we called it Rock Night. So that's that for that. So we've got that going on. Just also, too, if you guys can do me a huge favor, I don't know what it's going to look like, and I know y'all are really, I trust all of you. We want to make sure that we treat Ben as someone that doesn't seem or is acting as if he's being idolized, because I think having done music his whole life and been on the road and been on tours and stuff like that, I think he just really wants to come have a great night with us and just kind of share about his experiences. So just to know that and to be ready for that. And then also we have the thank you card that was signed by the launch team, so I'm going to have one of you probably give that to him at the end of the night, just as a way of just saying thanks. Hey, appreciate you just being here for the night and helping us out. So August 30th, taken care of. If you have any questions, feel free to email me back and just let me know what you're thinking. So, good deal. So that's that. September 6th is Fuse Night. That's with Jason Maupin. So we kind of got back-to-back, and then back again with the Harwoods coming in for their music night. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Jason. Obviously, Jason goes to our church, so I don't, that's just going to kind of probably feel natural for a lot of people, but still a great night that I think is just going to be awesome. And obviously, because it's been planned. So we want to, again, allow as much time for Jason. So for those of you that have something going on for a specific part of the night that requires you to be on stage or whatever, just make sure that we're allowing as much time as possible. I'm going to need some people to help me with Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A is coming in, so I'll have one of our leadership team, use staff people, go and pick up Chick-fil-A and bring it, and then just be ready to go and helping with that. And then we're going to spend some time for a fusion group emphasis, so I've limped along a little bit through the summer with fusion groups, but we want to kick it back up in high gear, and that's why we called it Fuse Night, because it kind of offers this mentality of, you can't spell fusion without fuse. So we're going to really put an emphasis on small groups and getting that kicked off again, and just making sure that we put some high value on that. So just be ready to really champion fusion groups and be excited about that. And then just make sure that we're talking it up too. We have, the Nike giveaway as well. So make sure that you're talking with people in the youth center. Just, hey, did you get signed up for the Nike giveaway? We just really would hate to see somebody not sign up and then miss out on an opportunity to potentially win. And I know some of y'all are going to sign up for sure. So anyway, so here's a run through for September. We have pre-service prayer on the stairs, and that is going to be Noah and Lily. So Lily Cry, you're going to be on pre-service prayer that night. So 5:45, just be ready to go. We'll pre-service rally at 6:30 with Jason. 6:45, we'll kick this thing off and get it moving and grooving. And announcements and welcome will be with Andy and Brandy. So they'll do that, and then we'll do a fusion group promo. We'll bring up all the youth staff who run fusion groups and just be excited about that. Sherry will do the offering. We'll have worship, and then Jason will pop in with the message for the night. So I have Nolan, you're on bass, Lily, you're on drums, and Haley, you're singing. So we have all that set up and ready to go. Jayla, I again have you on the computer that night, so be ready to go for the computer. Haley, I have you handing out anything that we may have, event, stuff like that. Just be ready to hand out some fusion group cards probably, because we're putting high emphasis on fusion groups. Social media, Ethan, I have you doing social media that night, so just be ready. Maybe snap a picture of the night and just post on Instagram, send it to me. I'll get it up on our page. I'll have Rachel get it up on our page and do all that. So we've got that going on. And then I think we'll be set to go. Also for the Rock Night, if there's somebody who, let's just all be ready to maybe take a picture for Instagram or Facebook. I'm sure everybody's going to kind of want to anyways. So be ready to go for that. That'll be important. So let's kind of move away from the events for a second and just talk a little bit about just keeping the fluidity of service. So obviously we only get an hour and 15 minutes, so we want to make the best and the most of the time that we've got. So lately we've had some gaps and some loose ends, or videos not queuing up immediately, or sound not coming on when it needs to, and we really want to just be about excellence. I know we do this week to week, so it's easy sometimes to just be like, well, it's 1 week, we have the next week. And granted, while that's, that is true, and we're glad that we get another week, we want to make sure that we're the most excellent as we can possibly be for the time that we're given. Because ultimately, it's not about us. It's just about what God wants to do. And so just really, that's important. So just be ready for instruction and direction for things moving forward. Again, I know summer was a little chaotic, but we want to make sure that we're getting everything set and necessary in the way that we want it to look. And I know we all want it to look the best that it can possibly be. So just be ready for that. Look for things that look like it could be a loose end and just tighten it up so it doesn't become one. All right? So I think that is everything I have to share with you. For announcements for that night, for the September 30th night, you're going to be announcing Fuse Night, and then the Harwood Music, and then for the following week for Rock Night, we're announcing Fuse Night and Harwood Music. Gosh, and for Fuse Night, we're going to announce Harwood Music Youth Convention, so Amp Youth Convention as well, and fusion groups. So that is it. I cannot believe we wrapped that up in under 15 minutes, but I will probably ramble on and on to get us to 15 minutes. But ultimately, just thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Appreciate you guys. You really help make the dream happen and make things go. So I want you to know that you are super valuable and extremely important. And I'm just glad to have you guys on this team and doing our thing. So let's just continue to keep our eyes on the prize, just to continue to remember not necessarily even what we're doing, but ultimately who we're doing this for, because that changes what we do and even how excellent we choose to do it. So that's it. I'm going to go eat some dinner because I am hungry, and I've been talking for almost 15 minutes straight and preached last night, so my throat's getting a little hoarse, so I'm just going to, Dr. Pepper just fixes things, So anyways, thanks so much, guys. If you have any questions, please email me. Don't let something drop just because you didn't know what was going on. So that's it. See you guys. have an awesome night. Have an awesome week. Great job last night. And excited to continue to roll on. See ya.